Hi, my name is Anna Gumkowska and I'm going to present you with the study case I did for you. There's going to be, let's say, two different versions. The first main one is created in RISE, so it's possible to take it by a learner not only on laptop but also on mobile phone or iPad. So if that's important for the company, we have such an option. But using RISE, I also used and created some very interactive blocks using Storyline 360, so it's actually a mix. So let's start. You can see at the very beginning that this is the interactive block created in Storyline 360s. We have to put our name here and start the experience.
Here are today's activities to equip you with new information and skills. Meet the team. Discover types of research. Meet me for an assessment. Discover how to help luxury brands. Explore interesting study cases. And finally, meet me for an assessment.
Sorry for the voice over error. It actually sounds normal on my computer, but because my mic is broken while recording it, it just sounds terrible. But I just want to let you know that it's possible to record a good voiceover using AI. That's what I did. Just because of the error, it sounds really awful, but normally without recording this, it really sounds good. So here we have a plan of what kind of little models the learner's gonna go through. Instead of putting one big assessment in the end, we have two small assessments in a creative way of a conversation with our female guide, who you see on the screen, instead of just text-based questions. Let's scroll down, since RISE has a format of a constant scroll down. We have the first activity, meet the team. So these are of course random photos, but we would otherwise have the team members' photos. And then after clicking on each of the photos, we would have information, who is that, what's the role, whatever information we would like to include here. It's definitely more interesting than just having typical photo and the name and the role of it. We go to what we do, and we have click and reveal blocks for short training to have variety, but not to base entire training on that. That's why the next one, which is comparison of two research, we have a hotspot. So something more a little bit engaging. I put it both of the research on one screen, so the learner can actually compare these two in one glance and by clicking on the hotspots. Of course, it could be done in some more complex, more interactive way if we wanted, but taking into consideration given time for the project, I am just showing you the quite simple solution for that. And something more engaging and more interactive is going to be here for you to see, which is key challenges for luxury brands. And I created using AI this video, and then I made it interactive using Storyline. So first we freeze, we stop the video at the customers, and the learner has to go through the hotspots to get the information. Then let's move to shopping behaviors. And again, we stop and we have to explore the more of real world environment. Then we go to store environment. So this hopefully engage learners a little bit more by simulating of a real store. This is demo version. I didn't include, of course, all of the content because there's not enough time for that. Then we have our short assessment. Meet me for the short assessment part. We have our female guide here again to have that conversation with her, which is an assessment. So the first question, focus groups, do you remember which type of research it belongs to? And the learner has to choose the correct answer. Yeah, let's start with the correct one. Then we go to the next question. Do you remember what syndicated research is? And then we have to choose again. And it would go so on. We can just include all the questions we need to be answered as an assessment. We can also lock this activity, so only if a user passes, he or she can go further, and if not, they have to repeat it until succeed. Then we have our interesting study cases zone. I prepared, for the sake of this presentation, one interactive block, and I chose Understanding Local Emirati Gen Z. So we have to start by clicking and revealing information about them. So we have it here. And then instead of just having a button which says next, or it's just an arrow and just click next, I decided to use action-oriented buttons. So this one is how can CXG help? We click that to find out that supports by qualitative research via focus groups covering, and then we have drag and drop activity to find out what it covers. So we have 4 elements here, and we're dragging and dropping it on our Emirati character, revealing all the necessary information for the training. Meanwhile, in the end, we have again another action-oriented button, so we want to find out what's the outcome. We have our Emirati being pleased, and pieces of the outcome presented to the learner. So this is basically this one in RISE. We can actually go back and check how it would look if we use tablets. It would look like that on tablet, on mobile phone, and then we could use the interactive blocks included to create the experience using just Storyline.
Here are your today's activities to equip you with new information and skills. The team. Discover types of research.
So these are the same blocks, but in here,
Help luxury brands. Explore interesting study cases. And finally, meet me for an assessment.
So these are the same blocks, but in here we are using Storyline, so we don't have the flow format, but we have this format of more of a story. And here is an example of how we could do meet the team activity more interactive. So, for example, we would have the team members, maybe here's the main senior manager, and by clicking each of them, we would have, for example, video popping up. Then we have the blocks, which you've seen before. The difference in here would be that we could use all of the interactivities to have a story. So we could have either our female guide, or if we would prefer something more creative, for example, we could transform the training into something far more creative and have, for example, this character who would be our detective and have more of a detective story. However, instead of a typical detective story, we would have it as a case of finding out what the luxury brands are need to improve their performance. This is an example of a storyline I used for if I am the designer and a developer, an instructional designer, so I do everything in the project as usually I do. I will put a simple explanation to all of the things. However, if it's another person doing something, then I would put the comments and interactions and everything being far more detailed, so then the other person know what to do and how it should work. Usually I do everything by myself, and that's what I offer. So full service of being instructional design for the project, and a designer and a developer all in one. Please take into consideration that everything I told you now in this video is very much of in progress things. It's not polished to how it should look as the final product, and I always consult things when it comes to visuals, when it comes to content with the client. So this is just actually a simple example of how it would look like. It could be also something more complex, something more engaging, something more of a real life mimicking experience. Thank you so much. If you would have any questions, please contact me, and have a good day.